Hey guys, this is the Lovin Dubai show. It's Thursday morning. We spoke about new schools in Dubai, Jumeirah road traffic, the incredible Arctic Ocean row, and a 23-year-old CEO.
And so, if you have missed the episode, don't forget to subscribe to the Lovin Dubai show podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, and enjoy the show.
Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Our top story for you today, 39 new schools to be added to Dubai this year.
As well, Jumeirah Road sees 20% reduction in travel time.
We're talking about the incredible Dubai trio who just completed a 1,500-kilometer row across the Arctic.
As well, Dubai sentences 4 to deportation for WhatsApp job scam.
Also, later on in the show, we're super excited to welcome Sahil Sajan, leading at 23, the Milano director on Internships, Leadership and Family Legacy.
It's 320 days since the genocide began in Gaza on October 7. The current death toll stands at 40,223. The number of injured people is 92,981, and 1.9 million people have been displaced from their homes.
In today's rapid weather report, it's another winter's day by Dubai General Summer Comparisons, with highs of 37 degrees Celsius and humidity will peak at 62%. Before we jump into our top stories, he is the most followed person on Instagram with 636 million followers, and overnight he broke the record for being the fastest person on YouTube to hit 10 million subscribers in less than 12 hours. Only Cristiano Ronaldo could do it.
Of course, and honestly, I would want to say that I was very kind of like shocked of why would Cristiano Ronaldo actually have a YouTube channel on.
It makes money.
It makes money. And I was like thinking, I was thinking, you know, like today morning as we were talking about it, and I'm like, what is going on in Cristiano's brain? Because he's genuinely very smart and a genius.
He is a genius. So we said 12, he's on 13 million as we speak. I don't know if you can see this tracker because my head's in the way, but that's 13 million. It's a live tracker of his followers. And one of the videos he shared was last night. So this broke overnight, was with his family. It sounds like Georgina's taking it. His kids are on the couch and he shows them the achievement of breaking the record. And his kids, by the way, are kind of 6 and 7 years old, and they get so excited. And I think he sees the value in the younger generation being massive YouTube users. So I may not be, and you may not be, but 7 to 15-year-olds, they're not watching TV anymore. They're looking at ads on YouTube. And when I turned this on, you know what I got an ad for?
What?
Whoop, the watches that he has just subscribed for. So he's making money in every direction.
Oh my God, that's actually genius. And by the way, as well, I think it's very smart that, you know what, he is, he recognizes the fact that he is of the older generation, and he knows that his kids are of the youngest generation of right now. And he is kind of like looking at them and maybe getting inspired by them. And he is like thinking in a way like, you know, how can I make more money? He's thinking in a way like, I cannot let my hype go down.
Yeah, and he's so smart, but also what I really like about him and Georgina and their family is they're family people, and all of their content is family focused. Like, he just seems like a good, hardworking man, and their content shows it. So when they share things on Instagram and Twitter, which they use regularly, it's good, wholesome content, and it would make me want to subscribe. And also, obviously, let's not forget the fact that they're in Saudi, and they've been sharing going out for dinners, going on vacations, their home life, and it just shows Saudi in such a great light to the rest of the world. So not only is this probably going to be a big win for Ronaldo's wallet, it also is amazing for Saudi on the side of it to just kind of paint Saudi in such an incredible light to the rest of the world.
Agreed. And I think as well, it is very smart. It's like, I thought about it in a way like how keeping up with the Kardashians, however, keeping up with Cristiano Ronaldo, because like in a way, like if you, he recognizes his worth, and he recognizes the fact that a lot of people do love him and follow him and get inspired by him. So I'm like, fine, you know what? How can I show them more than Instagram, more than pictures and bits and pieces of our life and of me, Georgina, and the kids? And he's like, fine, I'll just have a YouTube channel, and it's blooming.
It blooming.
Really
yes,
blooming.
Imagine that growth. We always talk like, what's the secret to success to grow your accounts? And people are like, consistency, content that's relevant to you, or you could just be Ronaldo and people could love you.
Exactly. Yeah, you can just be Ronaldo.
Having a public that loves you.
Just be Ronaldo at this point. Or maybe Ronaldo, you know what? We can invite you to the office, just have a quick chat.
Yeah, if you ever want to drop by, Ronaldo, we're here. 8:34, let's jump into our top stories of the day. 39 new schools coming to Dubai this year. So parents, if you're watching and if you're worried that your little ones might not secure a spot in a school this coming year, well, Dubai just announced that the private education sector will add 39 new schools, universities and early childhood centres in the 2024 to 2025 academic year.
There are currently 220 schools, 274 early childhood centres and as well 38 higher education institutions, all of which are expected to grow in the coming year. Additionally, 5 new UK schools are opening: Dubai British School in Jumeirah, GEMS Founders School Dubai South, New Dawn Private School in Mahsen, and as well Hamptons Heights International School in Tuar and Springfield International School in Al Awir. Let me say that this is honestly amazing.
And along with that, 29 early childhood centres, ECCs, are also due to open in the new academic year. Along with that, 7 that opened their doors in June and July, so they're already open. So this means there are more than 16,000 new bums on seats available for children attending this academic school year, which, it will lead us to talk about, I think, like what that means for the roads, what that means for property prices very shortly, but it just shows that the demand is there. Dubai is facilitating that demand. And as we go back to school, we think about our back to school memories.
Oh my God.
And our best and our worst. Like, were you and we put this question out on Instagram as well. So if you have a response, what is your best and worst memory? We'd love to read it on the live. Were you like excited for back to school season, or were you like hating life, like the pit in your stomach?
I loved back to school shopping. I loved it so much. The smell of new books, the smell of like the pencils and stationery. And it was my favorite thing to do.
School bags.
Everything. Oh my God, yeah. I needed to have like a new school bag every single year. However, the first day of school, I would be puking. I'd be like, Mom, I have a very bad stomach ache. I'm gonna puke. Oh my God, I'm puking. And
sorry, there's a difference. Were you gonna puke or you actually puked?
I would actually puke. Puke. And then my mom would look at me like, Farah, that's so dramatic. And I'd be like, yeah, Mom, my God, I can't go to school. I'm sick. And then she'd be like, no, you're not sick. This is just anxiety. There you go. You can drink this. You can drink this and you'll be fine. And I'd be like,
you know what I love? I think the generation has changed so much that
what was yours?
I was just like the generation has changed so much that 10 years ago, oh, that's just anxiety, off you go. While now, if you think that your child has anxiety, you have it changes the game. I think I was a nervous kid going back to school, but my nearer memories are when I was teaching here. And as a teacher, you had such an incredible summer break because, you live in Dubai, you have the opportunity to travel east, west, you've got 2 years as an adult that are paid. It's the best thing ever. And then you're out of your routine, it's fully out of whack, and then you come back in, all the teachers descend. We were staying in a compound, so 60 teachers in these 5 villas. So you're living among your colleagues, and the night before you go back to school after the summer break, it felt like there was this heavy cloud of dark energy, and you just sit there. Now, some people were different, but me and my friends were like,
we're going to get back to school.
It's just that massive flip of, and it's only the feeling. You go in the first day, you see the kids, it's actually great, and you remember the loveliness of it, and you start building new relationships. Really, because there's some cuties.
But some of them can be very little evil people.
Fine. Maybe I look back at, there's some looking back on it with rose-tinted lenses, there's some adorable kids and so sweet and they give you hugs. I'm just saying that it's always the feeling. But when you get into it, it's fine. It's always, I think we overthink things, we overanalyze things, and then when you go back, it's absolutely fine. But it was the night before, it literally felt like there was a dark cloud hanging over school, over the villas, and you'd be like, another year.
I don't know, honestly, but for me, I would go immediately and I would try to be on my best behavior for the teacher, and I would sit in front and I would have my notebook and I would have the date written in a color and the the subject written in another color and my content written in another color, because back then we didn't have iPads and things like that. this year. These years, school kids.
You're a creative kid.
Yes, and I was like, and I would like be very careful of my notebook. I was, as my friends called me, a nerd. I was not really a nerd. I was just like very...
Did you share your pens or were you like a hogger?
No, I did not share anything.
Yeah.
And my friends would like try to annoy me, and they would like bring like a blue pen on my page that was supposed to be in like green, and they would be like, and I'd be like,
dare you? There's two types of kids in this world. I think I was the other one. I was the messy scribbler. Back to school leads us back to what the traffic is going to be looking like for the coming year. And we have an update for you on that.
Well, Jumeirah Road sees 20% reduction in travel time. Travel time on Jumeirah Road has been reduced by an impressive of 20% thanks to recent traffic enhancements by the Roads and Transport Authority, RTA.
So shout out RTA, they have completed upgrades at 4 key locations within Al Safa 1, specifically designed to boost traffic flow near the school complex. These enhancements include widening entry and exit points, installing new traffic lights and parking slots, and adding pedestrian crossings.
These improvements are strategically located near Al Safa School, Al Ittihad School, Jumeirah College, and along as well Al Wasl Road, ensuring safer and more efficient levels for students and their families. Well, I mean, honestly, now that we are older and wiser, since it was your birthday, it was Casey's birthday yesterday that I missed, by the way. I feel so bad. I felt like so left out. I felt like I had great FOMO. I was like, skip. I don't want to see any stories. Skip.
There's mango cake in the fridge.
Oh, really?
It's not gluten-free, though.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll talk about that later. But speaking of that, of course, with the traffic time, like we really needed all of that, and the RTA are actually implementing all of that, and they are aware of the fact that, you know, like when schools are back, it gets more traffic and it gets even more, I'd say, horrible on the road.
It's busier,
you know?
yeah.
Do you know the amount of times that I would be like driving and I would be stuck in traffic because like there's like a bus stop that's or a school bus that's like in front, and like, I don't know, letting kids out or maybe picking up the kids. How annoying it would be. It would be actually really annoying. And
but like, I get the annoyance. It's frustrating. The roads are busier, but frustrating for us being in school traffic. More frustrating when your kids are in school and you have to follow those times to go to and from work. I think if, as employees, we can ask for flexibility from our office. Hey, can we come a little earlier? Maybe can we start a little later? But if you actually have to drop your kids at school, have you ever tried? Like, because when I was teaching, the going in at 7:30 and coming out at 3:30, those blockages are actually what causing the traffic. So if you have to be within those every day, that's more frustrating. So at least generally, if you're not working to the school system's time, you can maybe try and avoid the traffic times, come earlier, go later. The difference in, for example, my fiancé, when he drives home yesterday, he drove home through traffic time, took him an hour, but he generally leaves a lot later. It takes him 30 minutes. So it's like, if you can leave earlier, start later, whatever, it would be better.
I mean, I do agree with you. And then it would also
help the schools kids. They'd have less time on those buses.
I do agree with you, but as well, you know, it might be very frustrating more for not only the parents, but people who are not parents, as you said, like with your fiance driving. It's very frustrating because it makes you think in a way like, oh my God, like, why do I have to deal with this traffic that is all happening due to the school?
But rather than blaming schools, we could just say, hey, what could we as individuals do to fix it? So leave earlier, start later.
But what if your company is not very...
They may not, but it's an option.
It is an option.
Would your quick poll out to people watching, would your employees allow that flexibility? Actually, I remember the RTA did a polar survey last year, checking the feasibility of this, whether companies would be more open to it. And maybe if we begin the conversation as to how many people watching today are allowed or not allowed to have that as a flexibility, it could start the conversation. Because I think if it's not an option within companies, then people don't ask for it. But if a company said, hey, we're going to allow it, why not start at 8, finish at 5? Why not start at 10, finish at 7?
But I think they would only allow that for parents with kids.
Maybe.
You know?
I don't know. No, because the parents with the kids have to be at school at certain hours.
Yeah.
It's for everyone else. We don't have those restrictions on our time. We could start at any time if we don't have kids because we have more flexibility.
I mean, if there is more flexibility, of course, that would be more efficient for all of the employees at the company. However, if all of the companies all of the employees at a certain company will all be coming together at one time, and everyone's going to think like, you know what, fine, I'll be coming in at this time and leaving at this time because it's more efficient for me. I'll be home earlier, then there would be like more traffic there. So I think, you know what, maybe the best thing that they have done, RTA, is maybe reduce traffic time by 20%. And maybe as well, at some point I used to think, you know, maybe there should be like a lane specific for school buses, because like school buses genuinely, you know,
I think they have started that. In some places, it was a new announcement a couple months ago in some places, but there could be more, that's true.
There could be more, you know what I mean? Like, because like, it's very kind of like distracting back in my old house when I would leave to get to work and it would be school timings.
Right.
I would be literally sitting and waiting behind a school bus that
Farah
is
does not like school buses.
Yeah, I just don't. I have issues
Point
with them.
noted. Let's move on to a terrific Dubai trio. We love this story so much. They just completed an impeccable row towards the Arctic. You think Ski Dubai is cold? Hats off to Orla, Toby and Andrew from the Arabian Ocean rowing team for rowing 1,500 kilometers across the Arctic Ocean. An incredible challenge requiring grit, perseverance, and these guys absolutely nailed it.
Well, sleeping in tiny spaces, rowing 24 hours a day, absolutely zero creature comforts, and as well piercing cold at night. They described it as being in a fridge without insulation, yet surrounded by breathtaking landscapes.
The Arabian Ocean rowing team advocates for environmental sustainability, and they completed this feat like absolute heroes. We've had Toby on the show before where he described another challenge, rowing 5K, I believe, and that was across the Atlantic in 42 days. And this is another major accomplishment, and more power to the team for getting it done. You can see in the videos, like we've had Toby describing those absolutely freezing conditions, how they're managing with food, like the mindset. But the one summary video I've seen of this, it sounds like that as a trio that, you know, they kept the spirits up as they completed it. But it's just the complete opposite of life in Dubai. You know, like we're going out and it's an absolute sauna. You're wishing you're like, how can I make myself cool? And they were in freezing conditions. They said it was like a fridge.
I know. I mean, the thing is like, you and I, whenever we enter the studio and it's really cold, we go like, we shiver. So thinking of them, it just makes me think in a way like, how can they even like row and tolerate that kind of like freezing environment? Because I don't know, like for me, when I'm freezing, I cannot think. When I'm cold, I cannot think.
Yeah, so true. That's so true, and that's it's a mental challenge as much as a physical one. And generally, the city always sprouts heroes and champions doing heroic efforts, and we have the opportunity to talk to these people sometimes on a show or talk about their stories, and this is one of those. So do check out the Arabian rowing team if you'd like more information. Taking a break with a fun fact for today. Did you know Lovin is based in 22 cities? We have a team of local journalists around the region bringing you the best positive stories and bite-sized news.
Well, get to know your region. You can find them on social, in daily newsletters, in podcasts, or on our app. Find them wherever you get your news. So don't forget, you guys, just like, get it. It's cool.
However, if you get a WhatsApp group alert that looks sus, don't subscribe there.
Exit.
We have another scam that we need you to be aware of.
Well, Dubai sentences 4 to deportation for WhatsApp group job scams. Now, the Dubai Public Prosecution has taken decisive actions against 4 defendants involved in the scam. Now, the scam began with a part-time job ad sent via WhatsApp, promising an easy way to earn quick cash.
They tricked a victim by saying the part-time job via text message, making it an easy, quick way to earn cash. I actually feel like I got one of these a couple of months ago. And once the scammers had the victim's attention, they convinced her to send the money with the promise of doubling her investment.
Now, the court, of course, did not take this lightly. The 4 defendants were charged with IT network fraud and sentenced to 3 months in prison. After serving their time, they will be deported from the country.
So happy to see this story, by the way. And if you would come across any suspicious activity, it's crucial to report it to the authorities right away. Stay safe and vigilant. Remember, it's always better to be cautious when dealing with unsolicited messages. In fact, like, block them immediately. We're constantly getting ones like this. There was, I think, a point maybe like 2-3 months ago where we were all getting those messages saying, hey, you know, you can do this thing on YouTube. There was the Mo Vlog scam saying just like follow my videos and you'll get paid. And it's so amazing to see 4 people have been held accountable for this, and they'll be deported, because we just know that the one day that we always talk about being vigilant, it's really, really easy to sit here and day that, but there's one day that I'll be vulnerable and someone will say, hey, you can get a free dress just by liking this. And I'm like, free dress? That's exactly what I wanted. They'll get me when I'm down and I'll like the dress and I'll be scammed. We get so many messages about scams, so it's great to see authorities acting on it.
Well, you know what? Let's not manifest that. We're not going to manifest that. But actually, it's funny because, like, as well, I got a text message. I was put in a group for a TikTok job. Yeah, literally a TikTok job, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can make that much money, in that much, I don't know, amount of like time." And I was like, that is not true. Oh, that is so not true. Good. And the funny thing is that, you know, like you see, like the numbers are like, oh, Indonesia, oh, Malaysia, oh.
This one was Addison from the United States that she messaged me yesterday. I was like, thanks, Addison.
Really? Oh my God.
That's from me. But I get so many of them. It's always like, you just know that it's a scam because we've never had a conversation before and the number's from a different country. So you just leave it there.
I mean, that is true. Like if you guys, you know, get put, and they started out as like individual messages, like one-on-one, and then later on they're like, fine, it's not working, let's have a group, you know, a group chat, and just like include everyone and all numbers, and maybe have a collective scam to all of the people that are in the group. If it works on someone, you never know who it's like cold calling, but in like a scam way.
That's so true. I'm just seeing Sahil on the comments saying they're using other countries' numbers, and then that's kind of a good way to figure out that it's fake. And also, as you said, when they create the groups, one of the things that was one of the things that they were doing to dupe us was they'd have another message respond being like, oh, I'm doing this, thanks guys so much for your help, and it actually nearly looked legitimate, but it was not. So we're glad to see people being held accountable, as I said. 8:51, which means it's time to welcome our guest, leading at 23 years old, Milano director Sahil Sajan, on internships, leadership and family legacy. He'll be with us after this very short break, so please do stay tuned. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today we welcome Sahil Sajan, the director at Milano by Danube. At just 23, he's making waves in the home luxury space. Spending 5 years as an intern, he's now leading the brand with a fresh mix of business savvy and sports passion, all while continuing his family's incredible legacy. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me here.
We're excited to chat.
Well, thank you for being here. And as well, I want to ask, what does it feel like, or what is it like, you know, to be 23 and already leading a big brand like Milano?
Let's be honest, it's a massive honor for me because like I've gotten this opportunity, but the perk about this is that there's a lot of fears also, because at a young age, leading a brand, there's a bit of pressure.
Right. Absolutely. But like, we know that you've also done the internship for 5 years. So how do you think, first of all, what was that like, and how do you think it prepared you for the role?
So when you do for 5 years, you know what you have to do. You've seen everything around you, be it for the sales, the coordination, the marketing. These are the main aspects in a business, right? And the main thing was learning from my father, because since he's the boss and understanding what he's doing, how he speaks to his employees, it made a huge difference for me, and yeah, it was really helpful.
Interesting. So I want to say something like, you know, when you are working with your family, there's more pressure on you, of course, you know, and usually like if I'm working with my dad, he would be more strict than he would be with other employees. However, I want to focus on like the positive part. What would you say is your favorite part of working in a family business?
Unity, because I have a very close relationship with my father. I think everybody who knows me knows that how close I am to my father, because he calls me my mirror image. And also I have a very close relationship with my elder brother, who I call as my inspiration. So working in a family business, it has its perks because the communication is strong between the family. So it helps a lot.
You know, I work with my brother. He's my boss. And I always get people asking me, how do you do it? Because they say you shouldn't work with family. So what is your secret to that?
Yeah, a lot of people have said you shouldn't work with family, because I've heard these examples like, oh, when second or third generation joins, the business goes down. Well, I don't want to live up to that example. I have a lot of responsibilities in my head. So there are good perks of working with your family, because you're learning more and more. And you've seen the traditional side. Now we have to be more innovative to take the business forward.
That is actually very interesting. But what is like a typical day for you? Of course, because like we know that a lot of you're from the Gen Z, I would assume. And as Gen Z, all that they talk about is work and life balance, and we're not all about like work. So what is like the typical day for you in balancing work and your personal life?
First of all, I'm not a big fan of this word Gen Z, but like, how do I?
Yes, thank you very much. Me neither.
I'm not a big fan of it, but like balancing work life and like personal life, it's smooth for me because like, yes, I go to work. I start my day with going to the gym, going to work, and then. But nowadays in my life, last 2-3 years, there's been so much travel. For work especially, like, okay, there are family holidays that happens once or twice in a year, but there are mostly work travel. But how to get life to my personal life is like, I like to spend time with my friends, my loved ones. So I have balanced it very well. I can say that for sure.
You were born into a wealthy family, a family with an incredible legacy. How do you think that affected you?
Like, see, it didn't affect in any way. Like, I'm blessed. I cannot say like, I had it tough. No, let's be honest. I had it easy for me. Nothing is affected. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm sitting here giving an interview with you guys. It's a big deal for me. And I'm just very grateful to be here. That's all I can say. It's not affected in any way.
Well, of course, you are born into like the legacy of Danube. So you must have like a big burden on your shoulder. Of course, and to keep up with the business and handling expectations and so on. So how do you handle the expectations that comes within the role?
You see, I'm 23 years old.
Yes.
Let's be honest here. Like, I have fears. There are always fears, and that burden, like you said, there is a burden. But like, I have to live with it. That's going to be a roller coaster ride, but I have to fight it out because people will be having comments. And I can be lying and I say it doesn't bother me, but sometimes it does. But that's the thing, I have to fight it out because my family has done well in this business. Now it's my responsibility to take it forward. So it's not going to be easy, but you just got to fight it out, right?
Yeah, I love the mindset, but can you be more specific on the challenges that you face? Like, what do you think, being in such a substantial leadership role at 23, what is the toughest part of your job?
Bringing new innovative ideas, because there have been old traditions. How do I bring in new innovative ideas? For example, like for me in the business, that if I want to introduce new products, how do I take the social media game to another level? Because right now for Milano especially, the social media is not that up. My responsibility to take it to another level. It's going to be, it's a task, but I have to be more and more innovative. So that is a massive challenge.
Are you able to come in and say the social media is not there? Because they have social accounts. So is it okay?
What I meant was that Milano's social media is not that good.
Right.
My responsibility is to take it to another level because I want to register the brand in everyone's head. Because social media is the biggest game right now in this world, be it in UAE or any other country. We're everywhere in GCC, so my responsibility is to register the brand in everyone's head.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned that you do sports and so on. So would you think that playing sports has helped you, maybe leading your team and working with your team better? Does it help like with being a team player?
Absolutely. So personally for me, I love playing sports, paddle, cricket, football, everything. Being in Indian cricket is a big deal and it's a team sport. And as a company, as Milano, Casa Milano, Danube, we organize a lot of sports events. Like we have one coming up called Design Duels, which is happening at Danube Sports World, where Casa Milano is organizing, which my brother is in charge of it. And we're having sports everywhere, like different sports, paddle, cricket, badminton, basketball, tennis, everything is there. So pretty much we're very much in sports. Like it's a good feeling.
It's interesting. I feel like it always brings a much better mindset when we like activities. Just to touch a little bit more on the role, what are you excited to bring to Milano? You've mentioned social media, but what else are you excited to bring to the role?
What am I excited? This is a thing I mention a lot, that every year when we do business, we want to be profitable, right? So my main thing is to take the turnover every year, at least 10% or 5% up. How I bring that? New products. I mentioned that earlier, new products, because in my business, the market changes on maybe every month, every 10 days. We're operating in UAE, Oman, Bahrain, Qatar. We have exports. So I have to keep up with the trends. If I don't keep up, then definitely I'm out of the market. So that's the one thing I want to bring in Milano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you an interview question. where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh my God, I get asked this question. I want to be married in 10 years.
Okay.
I want babies. But like in a business aspect, like just I want to grow. I want to see myself grow. I don't want people to know like, oh yeah, he's there because of his father. Yes, I am there because of my father, but like I would like my own identity also. I'm grateful I've got my identity because of my father, because of my mother. But you want your own identity, right?
100%. Would you like, how do you reply to people who go like, oh yeah, you only got there because of your father? What is your response to someone who was like...
Smile and say, yes, I have. That's all I can say.
Good
I
job.
like that response. I really do.
What else can I say? Just smile it out.
I think there's a really exciting career ahead of you. I really liked what you kind of said on the show and what you're going to bring to the role, and we look forward to following your journey. How can people follow, for example, the social media of Milano if we're going to grow it? Where should I be looking? What pages?
Well, we have a social media on Instagram, Milano IRL. And you will be seeing like different products showcasing. So we got sanitary, electric and hardware and tiles. So that's the thing now, social media is everywhere. You just have to be innovative because everyone is, the ideas are now crazy. You see the technology being used like AI. Yes. Like people are making Instagram posts with AI technology. Even now we've been applying that and because of my cousin Adilbhai. So you just got to be up. You got to get that level up from everyone else.
Changing the game in luxury home. That is Sahil Sajan, the director at Milano by Danube. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you, Farah.
Thank you, Casey.
That brings us to the end of the show. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye-bye.